Hey guys, it's Julian from Beneath the Bunk Studios. I hope you're doing wonderfully. Today we are talking about how to make a snare bomb effect in Pro Tools, or really in any DAW. Let's get into it. So as you can see right in front of me, I have a session open in Pro Tools, and this is a song, it's a cover actually that I did of Burn by Counterparts. If you'd like to check out the full thing, you can check that out at the link in the description. And in that video's description, you can also download the multi-tracks to this song and mix it yourself, which is really cool. I hope some of you get something out of that. And feel free to send me your mixes if you want any critiques or if you want any advice on anything. I'd be more than happy to help you out. Anyway, this is a little bit of what that cover sounds like. Cool, and what I have going on in some parts is this snare bomb effect, and I'm going to make it really big just so that we can focus on it. And it sounds a little bit like this on its own. You'll hear it all the time in metalcore songs, especially because it's just a really nice way of emphasizing a really big snare hit or a really big moment, just to make it really huge. Here it is in context. Without it, it sounds like this. Still okay, but also like with it, it's so much nicer. I love the impact that that adds. So I'm going to tell you about how I made that effect right now. First thing you're going to want to do is make a stereo audio track. And I used a sound from the Joey Sturgis Drum Shots pack. I don't remember which one it was exactly, but it doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to illustrate this point for you. I'm going to try that because that has a perfect amount of impact in it, for me anyway. And then we're just going to drag it into the session. I'm going to mute the original snare so that we could just focus on this new one and pretend that this is the one I used. I'm going to get it right on position. And in context, balanced in, it sounds like this. Which is okay. That's not that bad. But I want to make it bigger, and I want to make it brighter, and I want to make it a little bit more aggressive so that it just sounds like death a little bit more, to be totally honest. So what we're going to do is open up a reverb. I like to use Valhalla Vintage Verb a lot. It's kind of the only reverb I use these days. And we're going to play around with the settings in here. I don't know if I'm going to leave it on 100%. I might. I know I definitely want a shorter decay than that, and I don't really want a pre-delay. And I'm going to cut out a little bit of low end. So let's see what that sounds like. Still too long of a decay, and I'm going to turn it louder now. Better already for sure. Still too long of a decay. Still too long of a decay. Nice. And now what I want to do is drag an EQ on here because I want it to get brighter. And just kind of really sound a little bit more intense. Cut out some of the low end. Too much. Already really cool. And now we're going to add some saturation. I'm going to use FabFilter Saturn for this. I'd like to add the saturation enough so that I really hear that gross, gritty high end that happens when you add a lot of saturation to an already bright signal, and then dial back a little bit from there because I don't really want to actually hear that. So let's find where that point is. So that's definitely way too bright and kind of gross for me. So let's dial it back. I like that a lot. So right there, I mean, I don't know if I would do anything else to that, to be honest. That sounds pretty good to me. So let's listen to it in context. Pretty happy with that sound. Let's also move it to another part of the song so we can make sure that it really fits. So this is what it sounds like at the other part of the song where this sample plays.
The right direction, stare at the sky, and offer yourself the circumstance.
Cool, very awesome. So what I'm going to do, I don't really feel like dragging it in place for everything because this is just a video, you know what I mean? So we're going to highlight everything, right click here, commit, edit selection, do nothing, offline, and click OK. Now what we have here is an audio representation of what we just had before. So now we can see all the effects printed into it. And I'm going to go back to here and make sure this is cut off the way that I wanted it before, because I don't want that tail to hang around once the song kicks back in at that part. So let's check it out now. Way too loud. Still way too loud.
Lifeless! I am
Very cool. Super happy with that. Let's hear it at the next part.
circumstance. Burn up! The circumstance. Burn up! Burn!
Cool, so that's all I got for today. I really hope you got something out of it. If you have a nicer, cooler, more efficient, or whatever way of doing what I just showed you, please tell me about it down below. I'd love to hear from you. I like to get other perspectives from other engineers so that I could better my own workflow. So feel free to help me out in that regard. If you have any questions about anything that I said or did in this video, please feel free to comment them down below. Don't be shy. There is a 100% chance I will answer at some point. I will talk to you later.